Can we talk? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Gosh, no, Captain. I aim to stay so long as I'm welcome. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over wireless, or by message. And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit her sometimes. But only when you don't need me with you. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then.
Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that. That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back together. I hope you rest well on that.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
Going for a stroll around the docking base? Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs. The guy insulted my Rizzo's Rangers, all right? You can't just insult my Rangers and expect to get away with it. So, of course, I decked him with a tossball stick. I mean, what am I? Some kind of fair-weather fan? Only the finest group of tossball players ever to take the field. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting. That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it? Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time. Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
Careful where you smoke.
Do you mind? I'm trying to file a report.
I think...
Hold it right there! What do you think you're doing? I don't want any trouble out of you.
We move cargo 16 hours a day, and half of us still can't afford a bed.
You don't pay your docking fees, your ship gets seized. I seen it happen.
Customs and inspection, right this way!
Identification, please. You've got a ship, but you've never visited Groundbreaker. You must have just dusted off from one of those dirt-side outposts.
Sure did. And now we're in space!
Well, welcome to Groundbreaker. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. Much. Is there anything else? Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board, that is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Happy to help. That's my job, after all.
You're real good at it, too.
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice to be recognized. Yep. Are you pulling my leg? Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the Board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirtside, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Glad to help. Relative to the Board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. All right. The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the Board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a Board man and all. He's our liaison. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the Board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it. But what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The Board wouldn't do that. Would they?
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through secure. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. You need anything else? Be seeing you.
I picked up this weird signal the... The other day, it was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that?
I hear scary things about Monarch.
is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. This is Halcyon News, reminding you that there's no I in news, no we in Halcyon, and no Mercury in Saltuna.
Let's go! Way to go, Cap! Don't mess with us. Here we go! That's bouncing off! Here we go! Nice hit! Take cover! Got it. Heads down.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following...
Rizzo's Purple Berry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here. Rizzo's Lemon Slap.
Wish we had bigger weapons. But no. Be careful about blowing holes in the hull. Huh.
You keep that pistol holstered while you're here.
gliding championships.
I didn't think anyone but natives followed that. Hell, I know space hands who don't even think it a sport.
So, that's a no?
More like don't know. Storm season ran long. When I left, the Mortosis clouds were still stirred up.
Ooh, can we rent an up?
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time. Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox, while Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. Of course, most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades.
Carry on.
Halcyon News.
Got one more hour before the dockmaster bills me. How many beers can I down, do you think?
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single... Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. Now, I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light on his feet. Real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Laws. Maybe I should charge you double. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms, might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar. Yes, dearie? Ain't that just a treat? So, you know Edna, over in engineering? On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the... Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. I found a handsome...
Don't make any smart moves.
Now see here, what was I doing again?
If you're here for this... What are you... That's right, dearie. The only independent station... Though for how long? The board can't abide a community that won't... They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to... But it won't work. No, ma'am. Groundbreak... Oh, a little of this. I also knit throw pillows stuffed with the hair of famous tossball players.
I'm not sure that's entirely legal.
That's half the reason I make them, my dear. But that's not what you want. Groundbreakers radiators. Been neither fine nor dandy for weeks now. Miss Junley's supposed to be getting them fixed. The board can't abide a commute. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking... But it won't work. No, ma'am. Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of all the monsters. Because that's what the board... I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look... Those board folk are real prideful-like. But old Gladys knows the score. That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these claims he's transmitting from Monarch. But who knows if that's true. Might... It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? And...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your local township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? And lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not.
Hey! Stop that! What do you think you're doing? Oh, I guess, never mind then.
Not a peep from me.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. Oh, and it's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Heard of it? My orientation aether wave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
Yeah.
That's a Spacer's choice beer. Take what you have, polish it up, and make the best of it. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will... I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated to say... I can see all of the top-quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog. Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're always working on delivering exciting new... Sprout Wash, Mouthwash, and Mantafloss are... Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them. Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse Mix. The blast will send you through the stratosphere, and the crash will add an additional 10% to your purchase today, and the proceeds will be... At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we... Even if my contract didn't forbid it, I think it's part of me now. Now... Are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth Law? You would never ask. If you... I mean... why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice Consumer Relations Choice. Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job, it may not... If there are self-made purgatories, then we... Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I'm... It's fine. Speaking of interest, can I interest you in some quality budget good? Anything and everything. Whatever you want. Just the opposite. Spacer's Choice items are always new. Oh, sorry. Spacer's Choice items are always new, hot off the shelves, because you could go broke buying overpriced aramid. Well, this is just the beginning of a long... Have a look. Look, don't take my word for it. Have a look.
Are you listening to me, Emfuru? You can't get me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Emfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jesse in the first place. Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
Something I can help you with? If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify. Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei. We don't have the ability to. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded. Take care. What seems to. Take care. Take care.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service. I'm expecting our delivery fellow to stop through with medical supplies and service auto mechanicals. Name's Captain Irion. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws. Keep hanging around, and what can I do? You have yourself a day, then. What? You have yours.
think you're doing? Oh, I guess, never mind.
If you got a maintenance issue, take it to Chief Junlei. She's in engineering.
You ever wonder if maybe folks keep doors closed for a reason?
Requires not being disturbed, don't you? What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly, lethally contagious. But I'll be fine, so long as I'm left alone. Should have known she'd send a bruiser after me. Damned if I don't rue the day I saved her scrawny little... All right, okay, we could... Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low. Oh, laws. Wait, don't gut me and skin me yet. Please, talk to Bedford. Tell him I can pay, a part of it, and I'm a useful person to know. Just ask Ellie. Surely you wouldn't drag me before him. I'm dreadful contagious. I just know if I face him, I'm dead. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a... Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during... Alright, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the Blood Tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. Udom was my buyer for when I'd acquired the diamond. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent. Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Thanks for helping me with the board. Or I guess I should say...
Any word on Jessie? Let's just say she did me a favor, and now... So... Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it.
PNP pancake mix. Now requires no mixing. Seriously, don't mix it.
Rep's office used to be in the docking bays.
Rizzo's knock you out bar.
You should give our latest, don't they? Shit. Oh, shit. As the face of Spacer's Choice, it's my own.
What seems to be... Take care.
CNP Borston baked beans. When you
What are
eat
you lately?
run,
You seem
Borston
down.
baked beans is the only
Border
one.
Patrol nicked a friend of mine. Accused her of piracy. Shit. She actually...
Oh, neat. They got stuff in here I ain't seen in ages.
Look, I know. She found a hold-up ship and was pulling...
Miss Lilia takes good care of us, see? The authorities stay off our tails.
Where are we headed?
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the Unreliable? Miss Lily has been expecting. Sure am. A few years back, they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days, I stick to HQ and look after Miss Lilia.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come. Not a word. Pity. My guy in marketing is about to lose his other thumb. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings. But there's a catch.
Just like in the serials.
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. Few regulations, plenty of freedom. I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else... These days, the scrap business all but runs itself. Gives me the time to expand our field is persuasive acquisitions. At least that's how my legal advisors tell me to phrase it. Not all of our salvage is abandoned when we find it. Sometimes it takes, Your words, not mine. Hey, careful with the C word around here. I like to keep things above board, and Sublight occupies a legal blind spot. No one knows what we're licensed to do, and that gives our little business some... Very. I have this thing about numbers in spreadsheets. Grids in general. I like to think of myself as the last honest businesswoman in Halcyon, but I'll settle for being the most organized one.
C&P Force Pocket can be macrowaved in 2.5 seconds.
Great law, is it hot in here? Yeah. Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal I told you about came from. Shouldn't be...
C&P near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. I've got a fresh ground. They're terrified to lock in. You know what sprats are? Space rats. The laboratories of Spacer's Choice found sprat meat is plenty tasty when properly prepared. We grind them up in sausages, then terror-fry them in their... Absolutely not. Spratwurst, in all related terms. Boar, the other meat, is a registered trademark of C&P. Terror frying is a Spacer's Choice brand secret. A mix of 13 herbs and legally? No. The terror frying method was between you, me, and this grinder. I've been through lean times. It might be that this old space hand put a few words in the right... Long as you don't mind me grinding spratwurst while we talk. Terra-fried spratwurst.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons for those. Everything I sell is fresh from the forge. Technically, the metal formed billions of years ago, but it's freshly in this shape. Not me, but it's in my blood. After the crossing, my family worked Eridanos, indentured to the corporations. I was born into corporate labor, but I'm the first one of my family to buy my way out.
do you think you're doing? Ah, sorry for the misunderstanding.
Here they come!
My time.
What do you think you're doing? Ah, sorry for the misunderstanding.
Something the matter?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt.
Those XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and unemployed.
Good law, the healing here is so unbearable I can hardly even concentrate. Junlei better hurry up with those damn repairs already.
Wonderful brands and products.
You're here about the loose seals on level 4. It's on our list.
Breaks, military discount, health benefits, military burial, participation medal,
Trying to get us
training,
all in trouble?
What do you think you're doing?
Do what you want, I guess.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. At ease. Nice to see an outsider with some work. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. They want us to sweat, thinking that'll soften me up for a bad faith deal. If you'll excuse me, they can go fuck themselves. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. I have. One of my engineers. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense. Cute. My grandmother taught me that one. I was a... Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station... If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can... This whole deck... Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life-or-death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that any... Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gayan, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. It was different knowing that I couldn't turn to anyone. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got to...
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone... We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if, well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh! Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Cap.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
You should clear out. Engineering's a dangerous place to wander until we get those radiators fixed.
Referees are debating how and if this behavior could lead to an unfair advantage. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your mandated duty as a good citizen. Of Halcyon.
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen. This unit is... This unit is programmed to shock simulation shock simulation restored. Initiating shock. How? There. Shock subroutine complete. Estimated guilt level of customer in this unit dispense protein. Beginning dispensing. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for
Go back to
information
Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
are board property. Disperse. Now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Oh, real scary. You're really gonna arrest us on our station?
Yeah, this is ship.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? I impounded Alex's ship, not yours. Well, I guess it's yours now if you're captaining it. It's a game we play, he and I. I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells, he tells me he will soon. I impound his ship, he explains why he can't give me the info right now. I ask him to turn in Wells. Around and around we go. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further. Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. Maybe he kept some records around, or a conveniently placed note on his bedside table. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional. It's personal business, I'm afraid. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. Now, if you've nothing else, please see... Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases. That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but... I don't know, Captain. It just doesn't seem right.
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to recoup that debt. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? I quite concur. It's refreshing to deal with someone practical for a change. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first assignment. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my work? Be my... I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes... I have few complaints.
Oh, good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit? No. Emphatically no. Best to be clear. Law, but it's miserable. Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into the cause, but I've... Deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it.
She's doing everything she can. It's your people's fault it's not fixed, not you.
Oh, sweetie. I don't owe a grease-stained wrench jockey like her the time of day. I'm sorry, my temper got away from me. Please accept my sincerest apologies to you and your friend.
Oh, I'm not used to folks saying sorry. It's...
Well, now that... Oh, you've noticed my friends. They're here to keep the peace. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent staff. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. A luxury stateroom reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use. Oh, good law, of course not. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? I got a full line of weapon mod. Why, it gets you the weapon best suit.
All the better for perform...
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silencer on that bad boy. Bunker down in a bush someplace and pop off heads. What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Extended ammo magazine. Only takes a bit of elbow grease and a spot of engineering know-how. Most ships have a workbench near the cargo hold. Ours is in engineering. You can take your new toys over there if you feel like tinkering. No and yes. When you install something, it pops in there real nice, but If you want to replace... Right here for a start. A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just don't discuss impolite topics, and WARR...
Hey, stop that!
What do you think you're doing? Carry on.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Seeking relief from the heat? Till Junlei gets those radiators fixed. I hear tell some folk down in the townships are getting offered early retirement. Who'd think of such? The radiators. And we're all sweating buckets wondering when the powers that be are gonna... Couldn't say, and I wouldn't be pouring drinks professionally if I could. All I know is we're cooking in our own juices here. They're supposed to gather up all the heat the systems generate and vent. Instead of the heat going where it ought, though, it... Weeks? I lost track. Engineering. Chief.
Miss Junlei seems real on top of things. I'm sure she'll get it fixed.
Don't know what's got her dragging her. That's not for me to say. But if you're feeling the urge... There's nobody who knows more about the station's guts. Any system you... She doesn't come around here often, though. Don't see her... What ain't I got?
Hot enough for you?
Gracious. Anytime.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't...
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got... I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last... You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. Lay it on me, boss. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and that's bureaucracy. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay. You can come and go in my little kingdom.
Boss says you're all right.
Smells kind of like old Bess's outflow pipes. Got it? Inside voices.
Uncle Rag gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been tripping for days.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he is.
It takes crazy to live in this universe. Crazy cosmos. Crazy cosmos. Bullshit.
Wake up. There's no such thing. It's all open-faced pasta.
You've been getting into the boss's special stash again, haven't you?
It's possible I've had too many mushrooms. What do you think you're doing? Best make yourself scarce now.
Jule's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
You get that automech patch? McCred wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? It hasn't got a heart? Not like us.
Hey, I saw that! What do you think you're doing? All right, but don't let me catch you again.
Free, die free. Nothing else matters.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. It may not sound like much. Junlei sent me down to collect the parts we need to fix the radiators. McRed got me all distracted, so... I'll get back to my post.
All right, fine. Get out of here.
Here they come!
Put him in the dirt! Somebody shoot their bodies!
You're the first...
Live free, die free. Nothing else matters. Hey, I saw that! What do you think you're doing? Don't let me catch you around here again.
Got it? Inside voices. It's so... cozy.
You get that automech patch? McRed wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? It hasn't got a heart? Not like us.
Find a new friend. This worm fixation is screwing with her bottom.
Not so fast! What do you think you're doing? All right, scram.
My backside's still smarts. Does everyone get branded with McRed's crew?
Nope. Your ass is a priceless canvas now that it's home to an original McRed.
I guess I'm honored.
Live free, die free. Nothing else matters.
This is Halcyon News.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight man-to-pillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean...
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that.
Don't mess with us.
Tom tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot back if you can. We can always fix them later.
Right, here we go! Look at us!
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. And if you don't know what that means, just look for a command that says, cycle droplet pumps. Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for...
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
Hey, you the one who fixed those radiators? Nice work. You really saved our buns. Whenever... You aiming to send a message? If so, we best do it now while we still got time. Me? No. But our relaying capabilities? That's on the final count. We're going offline in 3, 2, 1.5... No. Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. Happens every 40 years or thereabout. The event's forecasted to last for months.
That'll put the whole system in a right dire situation.
We've got backup auxiliary relays, but the one currently in orbital range went offline some months ago. Yeah, I'm working on it. I finally got the chief to approve the budget for a diagnostic, but allocating the personnel loss for sending a technical team to the relay station keeps... I should say no, but why not? Maybe you can figure out why it's offline. I'll send you with an equipment manual. Hopefully we'll get lucky, or I'll get my approval in time.
Hope you don't mind if I borrow that manual when you're done with it, Captain. I could do with some leisure reading.
Oh, and I'll need you to retrieve a copy of the relay's backup data. I gotta forward any messages from Earth stored in the memory. Better... It's not like they're in high demand. Most tend to be adverts on new products, meaning... I'm sure the station's got a stack of junk messages...
This is Halcyon.
How do you do?
I'm locked in here. Can you get me out?
Okay, keep him quiet. Don't mess with us.
It smells awful, and not all of it's mine. I'll die in here. Just get me out. Thank you, stranger. Shit, ain't that a relief? You have no idea how good the air on Groundbreaker smells until you've been trapped in a tiny bathroom. Thanks again. What usually happens on this partially pressurized... Well, actually, two things broke. First, the damn toilet overflowed. When I... Time stood still. Ah, shit. That means I haven't clocked out in days. Song... You're gonna shake me down after I was trapped in a... Fine. Here's every bit I've got. I will.
wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt. That ought to make you smile for once, huh?
Nothing makes me happier than being even. Except being right. That's nice, too.
Хорошо. Угу.
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better-than-average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion, which tells me you're competent. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer. She helped me win a bet. We were on a smuggling run planetside when our point man bet me I couldn't outrun a mantisaur. And as you can probably guess, the thing was faster than it looked. Probably would have caught me if Jesse hadn't picked it off. Yeah, but the important thing is I won the bet. You won't be sorry. Or if you are, just add it to my debt and we'll
Welcome to the crew, Miss Ellie. We're real happy to have you.
Got word from Udom, from the hitman who trailed me the other night. Seems I'm indentured to the board now. I ain't too elated about going exclusive, but it's better than winding up. You sure saved my...
Groundbreaker's safe from... Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And did you see the size of her arms? Just took off guard, is all. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? She's just... It's just... She's calm. That Chief Jun...
Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by training and a pirate by... Not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. I make a... It's a mix of whatever you've got on hand. Usually 0G brew with some I'll make... Sure do. There's a lot of business that goes through the Groundbreaker. Some of it's... I've done all types of work with all kinds of crews. If there's one thing you ought to know about me... Glad to hear it. It's worked for me. Well, my blood type is AB positive. I'm a Leo, and I despise Space Hospital. That about covers it. Aw, come on. That stuff's boring. Look, the thing I've learned about living in close quarters is that you've got to... I'm all for making a few bits together and having fun doing it.
Hello. Junlei called up from engineering. Dr. Fenhill, I hope you're not here to harass any...
Harassing? Come on.
You have a create...
Then it's lucky for us both that I've found gainful employment.
Good luck. Now is there... a better selection... A better selection than you'll find on the promenade deck. And a quality commensurate with a friend of the station.
Hey there. Be seeing.
Heard from the lasses down on 22 that
Hey, you got a second? Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. It's just... Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only... What? No. No. Okay, yeah, maybe a little. I'm not trying to be all... Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever... You're serious. You're giving me a shot. All right. Hang on. I put together a little speech, just in case you asked. Hey there. I'm Felix Millstone. I have prepared a list of reasons why I believe you should hire me to join the crew of your ship and/or outlaw gang. Yeah, it's a second draft. Firstly, I am highly personable, and I get along well with anyone who is not of the jackass persuasion.
Sorry. He's funny.
Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a firefight, standoff, and/or raid. My motto is, if you need a steady gun hand, I'm your man. That motto is it's a work in progress. Additionally, I have several years of experience as a box hauler. This skill may come in handy if you need a body dragged away or a door held open while escaping enemy fire. In conclusion, thank you for considering me for your ship crew and/or outlaw gang.
I thought that was real good.
Thanks for the vote of... What do you think? The fun kind? I mean, what else do you do when you got a ship of your own? Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board.
Wow.
Welcome back. Do wipe the blood and space dust from your feet in the entry bay. Thank you. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be... Yes, Captain. Beginning playback now.
There's viscera and death everywhere. Gunfire, gnashing teeth. The unemployed. For law's sake, if anyone's receiving this, please send help. What? No!
Captain, we are now capable of accessing the Roseway landing pad. Also, corporate protocol requires that all distress signals include a list of key personnel for retrieval. The embedded names are Anton Crane, Vaughn Cortez, and Orson Shaw. Forgive me, Captain. I would rather not discuss Alex Hawthorne today. Was there another No, I am sure I cannot feel emotions. The memory has merely disrupted one of my processes. It was my fault. I should have predicted the statistical unlikeliness of success of my captain's actions. In fact, I did, but illogically. He asked me to trust him. Captain Hawthorne attached 98.4% of the ship's processes to my computer, thereby giving me I have been programmed to deftly calculate navigation vectors through asteroid fields Alex also taught me the concept of a personality. He was quite delighted when I crafted one in order to better engage with him. It was basic in the beginning. The information in my memory banks says I am an autonomous digital astrogator, created by, redacted. I have not yet decided if I should attempt to uncover. I asked once. Alex did not build me, and would not say who did.
Hey, Captain. Can I get your temperature on something real quick? So, Junlei and I have been talking some. Through messages? I got him here on my datapad, and well, she sent me a poem. One she wrote her own self, I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic and such, right? Oh, law. That's what's got me spooked. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and lays one hand on it. I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe she's the engine and I'm... I don't know where it's leading yet, or if I'm not much interested in physical stuff. Never have been. Leastways, not like other folks seem. It's been a problem in the past. The folk who wanted to be with me back in... Thanks, Captain. I actually had another message from Junlei. I just couldn't work up the courage to open it. Let's see here. Talking about old friends, got to thinking... Isabel. They were... I don't know. Junlei talked about them like it was past, but how far in the past? Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Could we maybe head to the groundbreaker? Get some... Thanks, Captain.
You see we had a conveyor pull in?
Rizzo's knock you out on.
So, how's this work? Do we get a table? Stand in a corner? Okay, so... what are we drinking? You're the expert? Oh, and don't worry on the price. I got this. Let's just do it proper. Oh, no, that's on account of my not being able to sleep lately. I've just been lying awake, thinking about what Junlei said, and... Well, that's fruit and such, right? Okay. Mine it. Bottoms up.
Good choice for getting sloshed when you want to act fancy.
Wow, this is really kind of nice, actually. Who'd have guessed old fruit could taste so good? Oh, Captain. I'm pining for Junlei something fierce. What am I doing? Huh. Yeah. I guess we are that, huh? Friends. Friends give each other counsel, right? What do you think I should do about Junlei? Because I feel...
I'd give you my advice, but if I'm being honest, you're probably better off following whatever the captain has to say.
Well, she talked about another girl, right? Isabel. Mentioned her by name and everything, like she wanted me to know. Maybe I've been making a right fool of myself this whole time. Maybe she's not interested after all. It was real long and rambly. She was telling me a story about her dad, how a lady named Isabel did all sorts of things to try to win his favor. This Isabel lady never quite managed to get her dad's approval, but they carried on anyways. Made something good out of a bad situation. Then it all went down the tubes. Do you think Junlei still has feelings for her? I just got a lot of feelings, Captain, and they're all climbing up my throat. I need another drink. Right now. Before I lose my nerve. Come on, Captain. I'm here to drink. Okay, maybe you're right. Hydration.
Aw, this was just about to get fun.
Shush you. Oh, Captain, I want to talk to you. Everything? I got a solar system's worth. Does she think I'm as pretty as I think she's handsome? What if she doesn't like me? What if she does? What if she's still got feelings for that lady, Isabel? What if we get together and she gets bored of me? Don't you tease me in my moment of weakness. You know I'm not interested in physical affection. That's... well, it's tripped folks up in the past. Folks I... What if I can't make her happy? Yeah, I know you're right. Back in Edgewater, there wasn't no one who wanted to know my mind. Gosh, I don't know that I got that in me. Sometimes I don't want to be that person. Don't want to be cold. Well, Captain, this has been a whole... Oh gosh, I don't... All right. There's no... Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask June... Thanks for hearing me out, and...
This was fun. We should do it again.
Huh. All right. Thank you, guys. Come on.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Vinny Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
Hotter than usual in here. Hope we're not catching...
Dr. Fenhill, I hope you've reconsidered my offer to stay on...
I'm trying to live a more balanced life. Gun in one hand, scalpel in the other.
I already knew it'd be easier to teach an automech heart surgery than to change your mind. Fair travels, Ellie.
Groundbreaker's a small town in a big ship, and anyone who spends any time here gets to know Junlei.
We don't see a lot of competent surgeons on Groundbreaker. Dr. Fenhill is my on-again, off-again freelancer. I take it she'll be joining your crew full-time?
I don't like to put a label on things. Let's keep it casual.
If you ever decide to settle down, there's a home for you on Groundbreaker. I hope that was a joke, Captain. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. Family recipe.
Oh, my stomach's a little up. Something you need? He seems like a nice boy to me. Yeah, but I got a good I mean, sure, he's a bit rough around the edge. You might surprise yourself.
Something on your mind?
Have you seen this man? Reward offers for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Vinny Wells. Report any sightings to your local board.
I wonder what that fella did to get the board so wild at him.
Gonna head to Varus for whiskey and darts. Maybe not in that order.
Hey, be careful with those crates, huh? My car...
Pick up any more strays while you were out? I suppose if the crew's quarters fill up, we could hang hammocks in the cargo hold.
Hey, Captain. I hope I wasn't too much bother at the bar. I did have fun, and I tried some things I never would have otherwise. Some of the drinks we tried I even liked. I guess it's not all disgusting. And I don't feel it today. I guess that water must have worked. I'm glad I had you looking out for me. I messaged Junlei when we got back, and she replied super quick. Okay. I was awake half the night, thinking about what I sent, anxious to see what you said. I reread my message in the morning, and it was unclear. I was drinking when I sent it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the courage. Also, sorry for the typos. Oh, she called mashed potatoes smashed potatoes, but I think maybe that's just what they call them on Groundbreaker. I've ruined things in the past because I didn't say things I should have, like, I've met someone who's become special to me. I want to be honest with her, So if she feels the same about me, there won't be any surprises. Isn't she sweet? Like one of those two-bit romances where one soul's all stiff and formal and... I should be glad to perhaps take hold of your hand, miss. I ought to go write her back. I mean, I already did. Twice. But...
Good to see you, boss. Didn't I tell you? I'm secretly the chairman's orphan child, abandoned at birth in the back bays. Honestly, before you picked me up, I was living in the back bays. Spent my whole life up there, watching ships roll in and take off. I always wondered when my ship would... I was what folks on the Groundbreaker call a stowaway. Means I was invisible. Life carried on for everybody else, but not for me. I had to make my own way. Stowaways ain't free. We were just as trapped as anybody else. We didn't belong in the system, but we still had to live in it. We still had to play by the board's rules. Imagine spending your whole life looking out at the stars, and knowing you could never aspire to be anything more than a box hauler. That's what it's like. Applied myself to what? I ain't got a head for numbers and figures, so engineering wasn't gonna pick me up. And sublight's got no use for a scrawny back bays kid. Hauling boxes was about the only work I could find. Hated every second of it. Foreman and I never got on. Could be I was overreacting. A better man might have turned the other cheek. Exercised a little bit of that, what's the word? But on the other hand, broadsiding the jackass with a tossball stick, that felt good. Oh, I can do civilized. Proper civilized, too. I caught a real lucky break. If you hadn't picked me up, I'd still be back at the docks. Oh, yeah. I had a prison cell back on the Groundbreaker. Carved my name on the wall. I wonder if it's still there. Thanks for listening, boss.
This Roseway business smells. Something tells me things didn't end well for the guy who made the distress call. And whoever or whatever got him will be waiting for us. What's there to know, Captain? Shady corporate town caught up in shady corporate shit. Tough luck for them, but maybe an opportunity for us. With a lot of these companies, the thrashing you take from your boss is worse than whatever a bunch of marauders will do to you. Doesn't exactly encourage calling for aid when there's a fuck-up. If you say so, I'm keeping a finger on the trigger all the same. Anyway, we might as well take a look out there, see if we can get the jump on whoever's waiting for us.
Just to warn you, we may have a bedbug infestation. I am investigating non-toxic extermination measures. Non-toxic to you, I mean.
11.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
Что?
The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. I request... We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
No security. Not that I'm complaining. Hell of a welcome. Nice and easy.
Warning. Having obstruction. Organic materials detected on. Please ensure mechanisms are free of reversal.
Something you need?
Delays in loading due to commerce obstruction will be deducted from all staff pay.
Shouldn't we be looking into that distress call? Not that I mislike feeling the wind in the hair.
Here we go! Nice hit!
Down they go! They won't try that again.
Employee, you have been fined an additional 200 bits for commerce obstruction. Please collect your...
They left their own outside to die? Was it that bad? So, what's the plan?